Naturalisation. The consequences of stricter policies. If you are a foreigner living in the Netherlands and you wish to obtain Dutch nationality, then you can apply for naturalisation. You will receive a Dutch passport and will be entitled to call yourself a Dutch citizen. It sounds simple, but of course it's more complicated than that. The naturalisation of immigrants is a major part of a broader discussion on integration, which is causing controversy all across Europe. Each EU member state is free to formulate its own citizenship policy. This means the requirements for naturalisation vary greatly between countries. For instance, if you're an immigrant in Belgium or Finland, you can apply for citizenship if you have lived there permanently for at least 5 years. In Austria and Spain, this is only possible after 10 years. Application fees also differ from one country to another. In Hungary, you don't have to pay anything to start a naturalisation procedure, whereas it costs more than €800 per person in the Netherlands. In terms of the knowledge an immigrant is required to have of a country's language and culture, an immigrant's financial situation, and the option of obtaining dual citizenship, policies likewise vary per country. Despite these differences between countries, it is clear that the demands and conditions for obtaining a passport have generally become stricter in recent years. This also applies to the Netherlands, which introduced a naturalisation test in 2003 and whose government plans to increase the minimum residence requirement for naturalisation from 5 to 7 years. But what consequences do these stricter policies have? In order to answer this question, we first need to have a closer look at which immigrants choose to naturalise, as well as their reasons for doing so. It turns out that more young people naturalise than older people, and more people with higher qualifications than people with less education. A person's family situation is also important. Immigrants with a Dutch partner are more likely to naturalise. Another major factor is a person's background. Immigrants from politically unstable countries with a low standard of living are more likely to naturalise than immigrants from stable and prosperous countries. That makes sense. For example, a young woman from Afghanistan has more to gain than someone of the same age from Germany. Things like a secure residence status and diplomatic protection. That's not the whole story, though. For some groups, naturalisation can be an important aid to socio-economic integration. It increases their chances of finding paid work and improves their standard of living. This is especially true for immigrants from less developed or non-Western countries of origin. They generally have a more difficult time on the labour market and benefit more from any advantage they can get. One thing is absolutely crucial in this respect: timing. Naturalisation especially improves the chances of finding paid employment for migrants who naturalise quickly, say after 5 years of residence. If they naturalise later, they will benefit less. In other words, the timing of naturalisation matters. This brings us back to the question about the effect of increasingly strict citizenship policies in European countries. As a result of these policies, immigrants naturalise later, or not at all. This means they don't benefit from the advantages that a timely naturalisation can offer. From this perspective, tightening naturalisation requirements and conditions does not seem like a good idea. Want to know more? Visit our website www.MiLifeStatus.com.